Hi everyone, my name is Jalen and this is my presentation for Project Creative 2. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so I can share my PowerPoint. Go. All right, so we'll start at the beginning here. All right, so in Project Creative 2, what we're gonna cover here is create the creativity definition, myths, and then world creativity as well. Um, so to answer the first question, what did you learn about the definition of creativity that you didn't know? I would say that there's not just one way to define creativity. It can actually come from many things. And I've learned that creativity can take place in a mindset, a service, a person, or even a product. So from the book, I've also learned that creativity comes from the overlap of relevance and novelty. And relevance can be defined on how closely something is connected to the task at hand. It shows the importance of information, ideas, or actions in a certain situation. And then novelty is related because it involves the introduction of fresh ideas, perspectives, or approaches that haven't been seen before. And both of these combined make problem solving the center of creativity itself. I used to think that I wasn't super creative just because I wasn't artsy, and I'm actually more of a critical thinker. But now I know that my problem solving skills are a part of the creativity definition as well. So to answer the second question, which was which myth most surprised you, I would say that there were actually two. One being the second myth, and then the eighth myth were the ones that surprised me the most, but actually in different ways. For myth number two, I found it surprising. That it was a myth because I actually originally believed it. So as I mentioned in the last slide, I thought I just wasn't a naturally creative person because I'm not involved in like the arts very much. I don't paint, I don't play a musical instrument or anything. But it turns out my creativity was manifesting itself in a different way, and that was through my problem solving skills and more analytical side. And then myth number eight surprised me, not for the same reason as myth number two, but because it brought up points that I literally hadn't considered before when it comes to like measuring creativity. I didn't know that creativity can be measured by your goals and feedback. And this ties into how reflecting and looking back at your creative accomplishments can actually inspire more creativity in the future. So if you know how to measure your creativity now, you know what you can accomplish in the future. This is how you can make accurate goals by judging what you've done in the past and what you're capable of doing in the future. And then this is a very good to know for the future when I actually start planning my professional career and I need to set my own goals. And it's not just school and assignments and everything. So I was really glad to learn that. And let's see, to answer the third question, why is creativity important to all companies and organizations? It's important to them for a majority of a lot of ways. It it would be because like creativity drives innovation, which helps companies stay competitive. It allows businesses to develop new products, services, processes to meet customer needs, and then problem solving becomes more effective with creative thinking because it leads to unique solutions that people haven't thought of before. Creativity actually improves efficiency and adaptability as well with changing markets and everything. And fostering creativity within a business boosts employee engagement and encourages collaboration. Everyone wants to work together. And so overall, creativity helps businesses grow and stand out from competitors. And for my example companies, my first example company is Nike. And I chose Nike because it's a great example of creativity in action because they've built a brand that not only focuses on athletic performance, but also emphasizes emotional connection with their audience. Campaigns like the Just Do It inspire people to push their limits, while new products such as like their Nike Air technology and their sustainability efforts, I don't know if you guys have heard the Move to Zero initiative, um, constantly push the boundaries in the worlds of sportswear, and they just keep coming up with new ideas. And my second company is the Lego company, and I chose Lego because it's another great example of taking a simple concept such as their plastic block and turning it into a global phenomenon by continually reinventing the same idea, essentially. I actually remember, if anyone else remembers this, when the Lego cherry blossom set for the bonsai tree came out, and it actually went viral because they were using mini pink frogs, and I included a picture in the slide here. They were using mini pink frogs, so just a regular flat frog Lego as the cherry blossoms. And it was a really creative way to reuse pieces and not have to make a new piece for a set. And so traditional sets, that they're always making new sets, but they're also making theme collections and even doing new collaborations. They're producing video games if anyone's ever played the Lego video games. And so by encouraging this new way to play with them and adapting to new trends, they've managed to stay relevant over generations. So these two companies are great examples of creativity, in my opinion, in business because of the constant new ideas and initiatives that they come up with. Okay, so to answer the fifth question of what are two common approaches to creative thinking, the first approach is divergent thinking, which can also be described as brainstorming. Brainstorming is like a method when a person comes up with like many ideas as possible without throwing any away, and then going through all those ideas and choosing the best one. And the second approach is convergent thinking, which is evaluating the ideas that you brainstorm in order to form the solutions that you need. And so, when I'm planning a vacation, but I don't know where I want to go, I pick up all the destinations and I say, this one is good for the distance I need to travel, but maybe not the price, blah, blah, blah. And I need to find a location that fits all my needs. So both of these together are the two most common approaches to creative thinking. Yeah, so in the real world example of a creative change process that I chose was Starbucks. Specifically, the transformation of Starbucks from a coffee bean retailer to a global coffee house chain, because they weren't always a coffee house. When it was founded in 1971, it was focused on selling quality coffee beans and equipment. But in the 90s, Howard Schultz, who was heading the company, wanted Starbucks to be a third place between home and work where customers could like relax, socialize, and enjoy the coffee as well. So he made this change by expanding the menu to include espresso drinks, pastries, and like kind of the smaller meals that they have now. And they also changed the store environment to be more welcoming, more comfortable seating and everything, and also the free Wi-Fi that they still have today, making it more of a spot for customers to sit and chat instead of just grab the coffee and go. So since this changed, obviously Starbucks has become a leader in the coffee industry and it now has thousands of locations worldwide. So in Howard Schultz's book, where it's called Onward, where he talks about this process, it showed me how Starbucks' creative strategies built its success today. And actually, this helped me understand how the creative vision and adaptability are super important in the real world. Yeah, so here are my references, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I can't wait to see what comes next.